welcome to the video. So I haven't really been posting too much, but yeah, I'm just gonna take you through here my biggest 6 lessons of the year, and I think it's gonna be a very valuable one for everyone out there. And if you really take action on these and implement them, you're gonna have a fantastic 2026, and I wish you all the best here. Yeah, nothing happens if you don't step into the water. Water never stays stagnant. If you stand in the right place at the right time, you will get wet. It will never happen if you don't make any moves, which is just take that as the concept, to take that as the key takeaway. You have to move with speed because eventually money loves speed, as everyone says. I'm not going to stay on this one too long because I think a lot of you guys already know this, but I'm just going to share with you what I'll do differently in 2026 from now on. I'll use a simple framework to stay afloat and above water, keeping evolving, staying productive, and focused on decisions. Have to be fast paced. There's no second guessing anymore, which is a very important thing that I need to really learn this year. Which is also just across from this one, is you can wait on a decision to be made with time. You can wait it out. Decision will be made. This is a very big one for you guys. This is a big mistake I did. It wasted a lot of fucking time in my life. About 3 months or so, or more even, probably 6 or whatever. If you wait on a decision to be made because you're scared of making a decision, eventually you'll look back and you'll be like, oh shit, I wasted all this time when I already knew what the end result would be like. So this is just a very important thing for you guys, and this is the framework I'll be using. If I can reverse the decision, I'll make it in 24 hours. If I can't reverse the decision, I'm gonna take 1 week max. That's why I said what I said. You can wait on a decision to be made with time, but it's better that you actually just do it and learn from it fast, right? This is what big people do. This is what people that make money do. This is big entrepreneurs, big companies. They move with speed, right? If they're seeing a trend in their niche, they'll jump on it quickly. But if they wait to, oh, maybe I'm trying to see what products to do, or, what if this doesn't go right? Just make the decision, all right? I'm not going to stay on this one for too long because we have some more to cover, which are also going to be very valuable for you guys. But I just want to put this at the first so everyone can understand that concept because it's a very cool concept, all right? So lesson number 2 here. Stress and decision making creates growth. Growth requires daily pressure, which is a very important thing, and comfort delays outcomes. Worry about the balance of your bank account, not the balance in your life, because it will come. A lot of people talk about balance. I see all these, like, you listen to podcasts, everything is about balance, whatever. Everyone knows that majority of the businesses that are successful, I consider successful, like 20 mil plus, they have been in the business for plus 5 years. That does not mean that you will need 5 years, but I'm just saying that as a perspective for you to think. They did that without any fucking balance, bro. 5 years ago, if you were to start a business, it would take a long time, right? You don't have these tools that we have now, AI and everything that's evolving, right? You don't have this. So it's a very important thing for you to also understand. You need daily pressure to actually grow as a person in your business and in stress. This is a lot of thing. This is just kind of surface level, but like a lot of people really don't understand that you really need pressure, because you can sit here and say, okay, in 6 months I want to achieve this goal. Like you have probably done right now. You have your 2026 goals. You have them at 1 year. Put them down 6 months. Look at, okay, what are the things that I will actually need to do every single day for this goal in 1 year to be achieved. If you do that, you'll move with speed, as we covered in the first lesson. Second of all, you also have daily pressure and stress on getting that completed. This is a thing I have implemented recently this year as well, like, because I learned from my mistakes, right? It's a very important thing because you don't understand. A lot of people overestimate what they can do in a day, but underestimate what can do in a week and a month. Put that down there and do it. Also, this is a very big one for you guys, just to understand the concept of short-term pain buys long-term freedom. You can also put it as short-term pleasure, long-term pain. Short-term you might want to eat a cupcake, or you might want to do this, that, but long-term it won't really lead to any significant results in your life. That goes for short-term pain. You go through, you work 10 hours a day, you may do all these things. Short-term is not giving you the pleasure, but long-term it will deliver you the freedom that you're actually trying to achieve, which is a very important thing to understand. So whenever you're going through hard times, where it's lonely, painful, whatever it may be, just think of, this is what I have to give up to get that. And nothing in life comes free, right? Everything has a price. And what I'll do in 2026 to really get this done is intentionally I add daily stress with it, whether it's training, work, responsibilities, or decision making, or stress, or tasks to do, whatever. I always add the stress in there. So let's say I have my schedule mapped out and I wanna do these 5 things within this time span. I'm gonna cut that by half. Why? I might not achieve in that time, but the actual stress that I have to is what will make me more efficient with how I work, which is a very important thing for productivity, etc. And focus is also a very important thing that everyone needs to take into consideration over here in 2026, because it's gonna be a very big dependent on how much you achieve. And when things get hard, just think long term. As I said before, most businesses have been in the business 4 or 5 plus years. If you can't be focused for 1 year straight, you probably won't be successful, to be honest. Like, it's quite simple. That's lesson number 2. Hope you guys are catching these, because I tried to make it very easy, because I could talk about these for a long period of time. That's why I kind of break them down to the bare minimal, just the essentials, so you can really get this and keep going with your life in it. But yeah, lesson number 3 is time is free, results are not. Time must be invested and not spent. Speed beats perfectionism at every single day. I'm talking a lot about speed here, guys, but it's gonna come down to it. I think 2026, if you're not moving with speed, you're not gonna last, because you have about 2 years now to achieve financial and location freedom before you basically will have to deal with all the rest of the world. The world is not going to be any sort of similarities between now and next year and 2 years ahead, and even 5 years ahead. Like, I can't even imagine. If you are listening to these people, talking about AI, how it's revolutionizing, if you're using the tools, you also know what I'm speaking about here. I could speak about this for a long time, but just know you do not have time. There's literally robots doing the dishes this year. Imagine in 2 years, bro. 3 years ago, we barely could use ChatGPT. We could barely use it. Now people use it every day to work. What, 40% of the S&P 500 is going to AI. What do you think the world is going to, bro? They're remaking the whole system and everything. Just take this really understand this concept of time must be invested and not spent. Listen, if you invest time into making skills, developing these skills, or a characteristic you need to have to get to that person you want to be at the end of 2026, let's say, well, if you spend your time on things that won't be actually having a compoundable growth, you're wasting it. You're spending it. You're not investing it, right? You want to really dial down with your time and look at, how can I invest my time into making these and these things achievable for me. So if you have a 1 year goal, what actually skills do I have to develop? What do I have to work on myself? How do I need to grow? And then you put that into daily things you can do, or a weekly thing where you really invest that time to really develop these things, which is a very important thing. And yeah, so this is what I'll do differently. I'll cut the time, you give a task. I cut the time, I give a task, and move faster, basically, as I speak, But yeah, also blocking time for skills, business, and character development. This is a very important thing a lot of you guys probably don't do, but really find out, okay, if I can spend 3 hours a day doing these things, which is going to lead to the 2026 goal I set, but I put it at 6 months instead. If I can do that for 3 months, then you'll achieve it. It's quite simple, guys. Like, literally, goal setting and everything like that. Set and forget. That's what I do. Set and forget. And this is just a bonus. Judge people and myself by actions only. Don't judge people on their talks or their judge people on the result and the actions that they actually do, because you are not what you say, you are what you do on a consistent basis. This is also one of the big things that I really fucking did a good shit of 2026. I really judge myself on the actions that I take, and my words were also categorized as law. I didn't look at them as, oh shit, whatever. I really put myself in a situation where, yeah, every single thing that I do is who I am, and it's a very important thing. I'm not gonna stay on this one for too long, because I've talked a lot about speed. We're gonna dive into more of the things that actually you guys might find very, very valuable, because these are big mistakes I made this year, which are wishing you guys the best luck on not having. But yeah, this is just an illustration of what I'm going to talk about. Never lose touch with your base, guys. Never lose touch with your base. Momentum depends on your foundation. A weak base equals repeated restarts. You don't want to have that. Trust me, guys. This is a big mistake a lot of people make, and everyone that has it understand it. Your momentum is dependent on the base that it can jump back from. As soon as it starts to crack, that momentum is gone and you will start again, which you never want to do. Protect it at all cost. So as you can see here, as you start developing momentum, the camera cut, but I'm back. But really what I wanted to say here is that the more you gain momentum, the more your actual base will be very bit, like the foundation will be very important, because what you jump back from, momentum is everything, is about, oh, boom, you have your learning curve, boom, and that's where you jump. But if your momentum, or if your base, my bad, your base is not solid, it's going to be hard for you to jump back from that. And that's where it starts to happen, where you don't really jump as high. You might, go low, and your momentum just starts to stagnate. And it's a very important thing. Don't lose your momentum, guys. This is a big lesson that I've learned to see it, and I'll also protect it at all costs by now, because as I learned, I don't want to experience it again. It's a very fucking key thing, guys. So basically what I will do is I protect my health, discipline, routines at all costs, literally. Improve the base before chasing more momentum. If you can look at this from a different way, I can give you an example. Let's say you have a business, your goal is to reach 100k a month, right? Well, for you to actually achieve that 100k a month, first of all, you have to have the business that's able to generate 100k a month. So you have to have the disciplines, the back end, the front end, whatever it may be, right? The team, the structures, the systems, and everything. You have to have that at the 100k threshold before you're actually able to go there. Because let's say you do 50k a month, right? And now you jump all of a sudden to 100k a month. It's a different level, right? Now you don't have these things, so eventually you'll start to downgrade. It's exactly what I'm talking about with the momentum. If you look at the image over here, is the exact same thing. You have to really upgrade your base before you really try and take on more momentum or take on more revenue, whatever it may be. You need to really improve your base. It's a very key fundamental to life. And if it was only one lesson that I would give you out of all of these, it would be this one. To be honest, this is the biggest learning curve that I've had this year, and I really just want to emphasize a lot on this one. But we're gonna move on now to lesson number 5, which is gonna be tests come before breakthroughs. You're tested before you level up. Preparation decides who gets the reward. Nothing comes without a cost. Keep it simple. You have to understand that what I spoke about with the base and everything, it's the same concept that comes here. You will be tested, and it might not be, you might not, like, a test comes when you're not prepared. This is not like a school test. This comes when it's not prepared. You know, when you get a test, back in the days when you got a test when you were not prepared, it was like that, boom. This is what will happen in your life. You'll be tested on your discipline, on your momentum, on what you do on a daily basis, your routines, every single thing in your life that's actually brought you to where you are today. You will be tested. This is why I really put emphasis on improving your base. Because if you have a really solid base, let's say you get this test, your base is already solid. So when the test comes, that's probably when you start going down a little bit, just to give an illustration, a visual illustration. Well, you'll actually bounce back from that a lot better now, because you've also understand that you have built your base to a solid ground where you actually understand how to solve these problems or the tests that come up in your life, whatever it may be. Because I got tested this year a lot and I was not prepared for it. We really need to understand that preparation beats probably anything, to be honest. If you prepare for the worst, if you prepare for the best, this is what I talk about if you want to go to 100k a month. If you prepare to have your business at that stage already, well, suddenly you'll just start to see scaling. Scaling happens naturally when you have the systems and actual actions in place to be at that threshold. That's what it is. What I'm gonna do here is train daily, so I'm ready when the test appears. What I mean by train daily, it's not just like physically. Obviously, you train physically, that's a must do. Health is wealth. But training mentally every day. Setting out a challenge for every day. It might be 1 minute standing in the cold shower, which is a really good thing to implement. To be honest, it gives you a lot of dopamine as well. But these things, like, they might seem as mediocre, but when your fucking test comes, these will actually be what gives you that strength to move through them without any sort of difficulties. And you will be tested before you hit those breakthroughs. Like, before you hit your first 100k a month, you will be tested. Are you actually able to maintain that? Are you actually able to generate or operate at that level? Which is also a very important thing for you guys to grow internally, not only businessly. All right. A lot of people are fat and have a business. I don't want to be that guy. sorry, like if you're fat and you have a business, I have less respect towards you, even though you may have a great fucking business. If you're not Elon Musk or any like Jeff Bezos, whatever, take care of your fucking body, bro. When you die, or is determined on how well you take care of your health, actually. So, yeah, and treat hard phases as preparation and not punishment, which is a very important thing. When you're going through these stages where everything is failing you, you're making a lot of mistakes, and your business isn't really moving as you wanted to, or your personal life is kind of crashing down at this shit. This is what you really need to emphasize on. Put that as a preparation phase. This is where you really need to understand, like, okay, this is not a fucking punishment or anything. This is what I have to go through so that eventually when God tests me, I'll be able to actually fucking break through that ceiling, and I'll be boom. Yeah. As you see, guys, I can talk a lot, so bear in mind. It's quite late right now, but yeah, I'm gonna keep this simple for you guys. We're almost done, right? Lesson number 6 here is gonna come down to always have a face for yourself. This is a very important thing that I implemented in the beginning of the year with a friend of mine, actually. But the business only grows if you grow, right? Losing yourself slows everything down, and your external life is a reflection of your internal self. What I mean by all of these things is that a phase could be, let's say, during 1 and 2 months, you're gonna have this main fucking focus. Let's say you have a business already and you're doing good numbers. All right, the focus here may be on growing yourself internally, going to the gym every day, eating healthy. It might be learning 5 more skills to adapt to your business or whatever it may be, and executing on these daily. These are things that, this is how I look at goals, right? I look at, okay, how can I make this into a phase where if I do all of these things within this certain period of time, I'll actually reach the goal. Differently in 2026 is always operating a defined phase. I always have a phase for myself, whether that be 2 months, 3 weeks, 1 year. Like if I give you an example, if you don't really understand still what a phase is, let's say 90 days, 7 day hard, that's a phase, right? You execute on a certain amount of tasks every day, and eventually you'll lead to that goal where you want to be. But I'll always operate in a defined phase, sorry, and rotate between whatever it may be: focus, mentality, physical, emotional, spiritual, character, business, skills, etc. It goes on and on and on, right? What you think you need to improve on, as you already know, you need to understand that what is your current bottleneck? What is it that's keeping you from hitting that? That's what you need to focus on. Put a time limit on it, put a defined phase on it, and really get going on it. Now we are gonna go. I only planned it actually to go on 6 lessons, but I have a bonus lesson here in case didn't take too long time. Lesson number 7 is stagnation is a choice. Comfort kills progress, and growth keeps momentum alive. Momentum and focus is a skill which you can develop. Every single skill out there that you need to do certain things is something you can develop. Skills are not something you were born with. Alex Hormozy wasn't born with a skill of being a good businessman. No, he developed the skills. He speaks about this a lot, which actually where I kind of got this concept a little bit from. And also when I reflected on my 2025, where I kind of understood this is actually a big lesson that I went through. And I really want to emphasize on comfort kills progress. So if you are, let's say, operating every single day kind of the same, you're not really having a time you wake up, whatever, you're going to gym when you feel like it, stuff like this, have a set routine where you also have, okay, maybe I go to gym earlier in the morning than I actually need to, right? This is not comfort, waking up when you don't really want to, doing shit when you don't really want to, taking a cold shower every day, maybe doing, every week you might do 1 hour of sauna. It's not as easy as it sounds, right? If you actually pour on hot water. But yeah, implement things which actually keeps you uncomfortable, keeps you stressed, keeps you in the mental state of shit. I am not the person that's actually able to handle this all the time. Set things that's pushing you a little bit more. Like you have to, what I really like to do it is physically, because you don't really train you physically. I think of it more as mentally. I'm training mentally. I'm not really training physically. Training physically is hard, but training mentally is harder, right? To maintain that cardio, to maintain running at that speed, whatever it may be. Just implement some sort of difficulty in your life. And what I'll do differently in 2026, just to round it out, is consistently learn, test, and challenge myself, and never sit in a maintenance mode where I'm comfortable, where I'm doing all right, but I'm not really pushing it to the limit or pushing it to the extent that I know I'm able to, or I don't think I'm able to, right? Whether you think you're able to or not, you have to really try and emphasize on pushing towards what you want to achieve. You won't ever break through if you're not actually challenging yourself. And a lot of people speak about business, everything like that. But my concept is the business grows as you grow, right? Like, let's say you are a leader, let's say you're hiring people, and etc. etc. The business will grow to the extent where you are able to actually have it. Are you able to have these members all aligned, all dialed in on the focus and dialed in on the mission? If you are not that person which is actually able to have it, this is why I really emphasize on personal growth. It's a really big factor. And yeah, man, this is my biggest lessons from this year. Hope you guys took some valuable insights from this. And I'll probably start posting more on this channel. I haven't really done it too much because I've really been dialed in on keeping myself aligned. And as I said, with focus, a really big thing. You want to try and minimize your outputs, say no to as many things as possible. And maybe YouTube isn't a distraction. Maybe my personal brand going isn't a distraction. But yeah, I'll probably be making more of these kind of videos. If there's anything you want me to speak on, leave a comment down below, and I'll probably drop another video of this. I kind of like sitting behind the board and just speaking what I've actually gone through, because it's more authentic and shit. But yeah, hope you guys took some valuable lessons out of this. If not, well, leave a comment down below. What can I improve? It's quite simple, guys. Like, I take feedback loops. I don't give a fuck about haters, whatever. Alright. Anyways, bro, have a good rest of your 2026. Let's crush this year. To be honest, it's a big year. It's a big year for everyone out here. And if you really want to dial in on your goals, get locked in, bro.